Anambra governorship election, just 1 week to go. Political parties still strategizing as campaigns heighten. Wind of defection blows again and PDP loses 5 federal lawmakers to the APC. INEC considers registration of additional 8 political parties just as the police promises adequate security for a seamless election exercise in Anambra State. The Forum of State Chairmen of the SDP backs decision of the National Working Committee NWC to expel former National Chairman Shehu Gabam and others. We have these and more on the program. I'm Fisaya Ogunfui. This is Political Update. Welcome. The Anambra State Police Command says it will intensify intelligence-driven operation ahead of the November 8 governorship election, which is just next week. This is even as residents of the states enjoin them to be professional in the discharge of their duties during the exercise.
The State Commissioner of Police Ikyoye Orutogo has directed area commanders, divisional police officers and tactical commanders to conduct coordinated security raids across identified flashpoints to checkmate acts of violence ahead of the election. In a statement signed by the State Police Public Relations Officer SP Tochukwu Ikenga, the command has also directed all vigilante operatives to stay clear of the election areas. Meanwhile, residents of the state have called on security operatives to exhibit high level of professionalism in ensuring that voters across the state vote freely without fear or favor.
They have to maintain laws and order in the society so that people will not be afraid to come out and vote.
In the meantime, officials of the electoral body are making frantic efforts to ensure that electors who are yet to collect their permanent voter cards collect them within the extended 5 days period. Anambra State will go to the polls on November 8 to elect who will lead the state for the next 4 years.
And back at the federal capital, key advocates and stakeholders on the special seats bill have met in Abuja to further advance inclusive and gender-balanced representation in Nigeria's national and state assemblies.
And the involvement of women in participative governance.
The Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, with support from the European Union, in a strategic meeting on the special seats bill, a landmark initiative advancing inclusive and gender-balanced representation in Nigeria's national and state assemblies. The meeting brings together key advocates and stakeholders to strengthen unified messaging on the bill's purpose and intent.
The special seats bill is a Nigerian initiative. It's gone through the 9th Assembly and now is into the 10th Assembly. It's been in the National Assembly for about 6 to 7 years. This 10th Assembly, we feel a little bit more optimistic that it will pass, and that's because of all of the work that all of us in this room are doing and have done and will continue to do until the bill passes.
Ultimately, our goal is not merely to pass a bill, but to deepen Nigeria's democracy, ensuring that representation is inclusive, credible, and reflective of our people. You can't have approximately 50% of our population as women, and you have less than 18 women in the House of Representatives. It's very unfortunate.
The meeting also seeks to review and refine communication strategies for advocacy impact. Collaborative approaches to engage lawmakers and build political support are also developed here.
And still from the National Assembly, 6 opposition lawmakers in the House of Representatives have defected to the governing All Progressives Congress APC. The 5 lawmakers from Enugu State cited internal crisis in the People's Democratic Party as reasons for their defection.
The presence of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Nentawe Yuwada, and Governor Peter Umba of Enugu State in plenary gave hint of a mass defection. Speaker Abbas Tajuddin read the separate defection letters of Chidi Obeta, Anayo Nwegu, Dennis Agbo, Oke Martins, and Nonlim Naji, all from Enugu State, who have left the PDP for the APC. Another lawmaker, Daniel Asama from Plateau State, also joined the APC from Labour Party, depleting the numbers of the minority caucus.
By aligning with the APC, the party steering national transformation, we are connecting our constituency to the heartbeat of national development.
All right, so one of the topics of the day, political parties recalibrating ahead of the 2027 polls, and joining us in the studio right now is a member representing Isuzo and Enugu East Federal constituency, talking about Honorable Professor Paul Namche. I saw you in that shot now. Of course, you have joined the APC months ago, but you're welcoming more members into your fold. You are now an old member of the party. But Labour to the APC, PDP to the APC, would you be singing from the same hymn sheet, especially when the ideology governing directing all these parties at the past, or at least the thinking was not necessarily the same at the time you went to the polls in 2023?
Not necessarily the same when we went to the poll, but at the same time, at the moment, I would say that we are aligning for impact. We are not aligning for strategy. We are aligning for national development. We are aligning for the good of the people of Enugu State. That's the most important thing, and that's what we are elected for.
No. For some of us on the sidelines watching from outside in, when we look at some of the ballot sheets and we look at some of the campaign posters in 2023, many of you are at loggerheads on the direction of state. Now you find yourself on the same, using the same party card and the same color. How is that likely to run? And the new leader of the party in the state is governor of the state, who, of course, a couple of months ago was a member of the PDP. Are you all singing from the same hymn sheet now?
Yeah, I would also say that even before coming into the chamber, we had meeting with the governor, where we also all of us agree that what is more important and paramount is more the progress of the state, the development of the region, and also for the national interest. And if there is any indication of disunity, it is all in the past at the moment. And what we're doing now is that we are galvanizing the effort to make sure that we also align with the government at the state, that's the subnational at the state, and that also at the center. Having said that, the major issue we'll have in the southeast is a lack of federal presence, and this is paramount to our people. That they want to have president presence, they want to sing from with one voice and no longer discordant tunes from different fragmented political parties in the state. You will agree with me that being in the same political party with the state governor has a lot of influence. It also has a lot of gigs in the state. And when the party is the same as that in the center or at the federal, it gives a more vivid idea of direction, where the state is going and where the federal is going. When there's such an alignment, it is easy for things to come. You align with the people from the National Assembly are singing the same tune. There could be support. Everybody needs his state governor. Not minding where you come from, you are strong in your locality and all that, but you also need your state governor to also push a lot of things you are doing. I'll give you an instance. Just yesterday, there was a bill I proposed that was assented to in July. That was a bill for Federal University of Agriculture at Konike. This bill, it's happened that our state governor came to the house yesterday at the same time, which considered with the time the gazette was out. So I have to approach him. My governor, this is a gazette for this federal university, which will also employ a lot of people in our state. Please let us plan ahead to make this a reality. It's also there. It comes from the budget. You start building it. These are things you look for because you're looking for impact. If the impact that university will create in the state is not of a small measure. This is just one of it. If everybody in the state, every House of Rep in the state or a National Assembly member, it does one or two things like that in unity, I think the state will have a better story to tell than having a divisive political arena. Well, I'm very grateful that the governor joined. I'm also very happy to welcome our colleagues who joined from PDP to if we have had a different background, we are now going to align our backgrounds together, all for the progress of our people, all for the good governance for the people of Enugu, and that's the most important one. And as a national legislator, it is also We are coming from the prism of the state and prism of our constituency, but it's for the general good of the country.
All right, but let's put something people into consideration. Those are the APC members who were there ab initio when they didn't have the government in power at the center and have been laboring to make sure the party stays afloat in that state. Are they cut out of all the loop in all this arrangement, or are you carrying them along?
I think the right thing is that everybody should be carried along, because you're not going to import other people to do the job. You're going to use also the people from Enugu State. You're also going to use the individual from Enugu State. Governance is about people, and political party is about people. No one person will stay in a political party and say he has a political party. Even if you are doing the ordinary party in town, doing like a party, what is a party now? When you are doing maybe merriment to party, you can't do it alone. You don't play music alone. You can't play music and listen to it only yourself. It is more. They say the more the merrier. And I also believe that our state governor he is laying a good foundation for the inclusivity. Both people that were there before, people that are also joined, and so it will be a place where everybody should be happy, and that's the most important thing. But also to galvanize the state to make sure that there is a benefit of moving from the party that is not in the center to the party that is in the center. But most importantly, I will also say that if you just oppose all those things, it is also that we also want to take the benefit of the renewed hope agenda of the current president, so that things will actually work for our states, so that our people will actually gain. We don't want to stay at the periphery again. We want to stay where the decisions are made. That has been one of the issues that have been that has contributed to a lot of underdevelopment.
Let's just go to some hypotheses in the political terrain. When you moved from your party, the Labour Party, to the APC, you cited the challenges you had in the party, in even having singularity and sincerity of purpose among our party lines, and of course some of the divisions you've had that has not allowed you to push through some of the things you wanted to do at the party level. PDP, the former PDP, members of the House of Assembly, I'm talking about the House of Representatives, 5 of them who now have crossed from the PDP to the APC, have cited the same thing about their party. Let's just, hypothetically speaking, let's just, visualize it. In case these parties, the PDP and the Labour Party, get their ass together and say, okay, all the grievances you've had in moving away from the party have now been ironed out and everything is now in tip-top shape. Is there any window for a return for some of you?
I don't think for me, I don't think there's a thinking in that direction. As I said,
you have served the divorce papers.
I'm not living in anger, and I'm not living in enmity. It is based on agreement. That's why my members followed me around. So it is. There's no issue. There's no bad ill feelings in both sides. But the major thing we did was to make sure that the state moved forward. Also make sure that the aspiration we had in that movement is realized. And sometimes you can also get into a place to change it. So such could also happen. How would the ruling party take into consideration your own perspective, opinion, without you being there? It's like fighting for outside the table. That what happens is that people talk about you, but they don't talk for you. The states and the members of the National Assembly from Enugu State has also thought it wise that this what we are going to do now is that we want people that want to talk about our people. We will not just talk about our people, but we will have people that will talk for our people.
You want to be on the table?
Yes, we want to be on the table.
While things about your state,
where the national decisions are made.
Understood. Of course, we'll come to you for the closing statements and the future of your party in your state, as well as what you still intend to do as far as representation is concerned for the people of your constituency. But let's take a few stories in the political terrain. All things being equal, INEC may register an additional 8 political parties, bringing the total number of political parties in Nigeria to 27. At a meeting on Thursday by the Electoral Management Body, 8 out of the 14 pre-qualified associations successfully completed the upload of all necessary information and documentation. The successful associations are All Democratic Alliance, ADA, Citizens Democratic Alliance, CDA, Abundant Social Party, ASP, African Alliance Party, AAP, Democratic Leadership Alliance, DLA, Green Future Party, GFP, National Democratic Party, NDP, and the People's Freedom Party, PFP. INEC National Commissioner for Information, Sam Olumeku, notes that the next step in the registration process is the detailed assessment and verification of the information and documents submitted by each association. The leadership of the Nigerian Electoral Reform Coalition is urging the Joint Committee on Electoral Matters and the entire National Assembly to rise above politics, uphold the national interest, and deliver to Nigerians a reformed Electoral Act that will lay the foundation for credible leadership and good governance. This was at a media briefing in Abuja.
On the street. This media briefing is essentially to commend, observe, and demand the strengthening of the ongoing amendment of the Electoral Act by the Joint Committee of the Senate and House of Representatives. Coalition acknowledged the efforts of the Joint Committee on Electoral Matters, but advised that the committee must resist any form of pressure, inducement, or manipulation by political interests seeking to distort the genuine objectives of the amendment process.
NACO reiterates that electoral reform is not a political struggle, but a patriotic mission for national salvation. The amended Electoral Act must stand as a monument of integrity, one that restores the people's faith in democracy and guarantees that leaders emerge through the true will of the electorate.
Key expected areas of concern in the electoral process cut across electronic transmission of results, electronic voter accreditation, vote buying and selling, INEC leadership appointment reform, and timely presidential assent.
The Forum of the Social Democratic Party State Party Chairman has endorsed the decision by the National Working Committee, NWC, to expel the National Chairman of the party, Musa Shehu Gabam, and others who were suspended in June this year over allegations bordering on gross financial misappropriation, fraudulent activities, and abuse of office. In a press briefing in Abuja, the forum says by the SDP constitution, the 75% of the funds allegedly embezzled by the sacked national chairman, which is nearly a billionaire, belongs to the states.
We today unequivocally support the decision reached by the NWC and the sanction meted out to both Shehu Gabam, the former national chairman of the SDP, and Ogbonna Okechukwu, this sanction of removal from office, immediate and final dismissal from the SDP, and expulsion from the Social Democratic Party, SDP, have been long overdue. We also extend our gratitude to the National Working Committee, our NWC, for standing firm in pursuing justice and the basic truth. These developments bring us joy as it will significantly stabilize our party.
I'm sure we have not heard the last of the saga in the Social Democratic Party, SDP, and as the events unfold, we'll let you get that and, of course, get often the other side of the argument as well, the ones who are expelling others and the ones who are being expelled, so that everybody would have, a way of at least ventilating exactly their own position. Before we go, of course, we still have with us a member representing Enugu East, Izuzo, Federal Constituency of Enugu State. He's a professor, but for some time now he has left the hallowed chambers of the lecturing hall for the green chambers of the National Assembly. Moving from the Labour Party to the APC, what has changed in terms of representation, in terms of being able to bring those, projects and, of course, the eyeballs that you wanted to be put on projects and issues in your federal constituency? How have you been able to do things differently, or how have you been able to attract, what you wanted to attract in terms of infrastructure development for your people?
Desire, I want to tell you that the vision has not changed. It is the impact that is being increased or being upend, because this is the first time you see a federal lawmaker bringing a university in my state. This is the first time. So, and if it is for impact, the impact is still very high. My vision is to serve the people, with the people, and also for the people to know that they are the utmost task. They are making their voice heard and making the impact in their life. It's what they elected me for, and I've been doing that. There are a lot of ways, by medical outreach, security in terms of providing solutions, and also things like giving scholarships. This one is not the scholarship you see, and you see the people they are moving. Some are in third years now, some have just entered third year, some are in second year now. I have over 200 people in scholarship. I don't think my people have ever had it good before. And also attracting a university, which I actually came to the studio with the Gazette of that today to say that actually to thank the president for such a big feat, that where he was able to stand to the bill for us to have a University of Agriculture in Enugu State and in my constituency. That is something that calls for applause. It's something that my people will always thank him for, even after he's been the president. And dreams die. Our people continue to remember Mr. President for this particular thing. Because, as I said before, we've never had it good in the constituency. We've never had such things. I know a lot of impact this will bring, a lot of employment this will also generate. There's a lot of things we can thank him for just this single assent that he has given to us. And I can say that by and large, the state has a lot to thank God for the president, also that all of us are now speaking with one voice, with unity. I'm very happy to say that.
All right, before we go, just over the border there in Anambra State, next weekend they will be having the governorship election. You are from the Southeast as well, so one way or the other you are a stakeholder. What are your expectations in terms of the conduct of that exercise to your neighbors there?
I expect free and fair election. I expect security to be very tight so that we don't have any stories that will be different, that will be untoward. But I also expect that the conduct of election will also be, that will be very peaceful and free and fair. Because the IG, according to what they said, they have deployed a lot of policemen. So I expect that number will guarantee safety. It will guarantee fair and fair election. I also felt that there shouldn't be much complaint. The campaign is quite heated at the moment. I know it's also a state where there's a lot of bourgeoisies, but also a lot of very progressive-minded individuals. I expect that the people who want will also win.
All right, Prof, you're a prof of mechatronics, of course, but now you have moved into the, hall of politics. Many thanks to you for coming today. Hopefully, after all this exercise, you will also sell handouts on politics. That has been Political Update for today. Many thanks for joining us. We've had Professor Paul Onamchi as our guest, and you as a viewer watching and enjoying, and of course, anticipating elections for next week. My name is Fisao Ogunfuyi, urging you between now and when we see again to play your politics for the greater good and keep it locked on Africa's finest and largest, the Nigerian Television Authority, for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.